Greetings, my dear viewer. You're on the channel The Price of Cheating. The channel is for those who appreciate traditional family values and condemn adultery. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Pinpointing the exact moment when everything began to shift feels like an impossible task. My world has always revolved around my husband, James. To those looking in from the outside, we likely appear to be the perfect couple. James is often described as the ideal husband, handsome, successful, and captivating. He has an effortless charisma and a commanding presence that turns heads wherever he goes. Even at 57, he exudes a magnetic confidence that seems to defy time. As for me, Abigail, I sometimes feel that the years have been less kind. We've shared 35 years of marriage, and while I occasionally receive compliments from men, I've learned to dismiss them, particularly when arrogance overshadows their intent. Now at 53, I've grown to appreciate the person I've become. My brown eyes, matching hair, and a figure that has held up well over the years bring me quiet satisfaction. Staying active has always been part of my routine. Yoga helps keep me in shape, though I'm far from obsessive. I indulge in life's little pleasures, good food and wine among them, even if they've added a few pounds here and there. I run a retail store and find joy in books, puzzles, and games. Our adult children, Robert and Mary, live nearby, which means frequent family gatherings that I cherish deeply. Despite the years, the physical connection between James and me remains intact. Yet one thing has lingered throughout our marriage, a sense of incompleteness in our intimate life. Strangely enough, this seems to bother James more than it does me. Beyond that, he's a considerate and affectionate partner, and I truly enjoy his company. One year, I invited James to attend my company's New Year's party with me, an event I always look forward to as a chance to dress up and enjoy a lively evening together. As expected, James slipped effortlessly into the social scene, charming everyone he met with his natural ease. After some time, I left him at the bar and joined my colleagues on the dance floor. Initially, it was just a group of women, but soon a few younger men joined us. Among them was Joseph, our new supply manager. Joseph and I had always gotten along well, and our conversations were light and pleasant. Joseph's youth, athletic build, and charisma didn't go unnoticed. He seemed especially attentive to me, which was both flattering and a little unexpected. Eventually, I returned to check on James and found him sitting at the bar, his demeanor unusually subdued. His expression suggested he was ready to leave. "Sorry, darling," I said. "I lost track of time chatting." "With everyone, or just him?" James asked, nodding in Joseph's direction. "That's Joseph," I explained. "He's a colleague. We were just enjoying the dance floor." James's tone remained steady, though his words carried weight. "I saw the way you looked at him. You like him." His statement, delivered with quiet certainty, caught me off guard. "What? No. Well, maybe. I hadn't really thought about it." But as the words left my mouth, I realized there was some truth to them. It did feel nice to be noticed. While I couldn't deny Joseph's appeal, I wasn't interested in pursuing anything beyond a friendly working relationship. Even if Joseph harbored intentions, I had no desire to act on them. To my surprise, James didn't respond with anger. He accepted my words calmly, without bitterness. For the rest of the evening, I focused on being close to him. That night, something unexpected happened. My attraction to James intensified. We shared an incredible evening together, and afterward he asked, "Was it Joseph who got you excited?" I hesitated, then chose honesty. "Maybe a little," I admitted, "but mostly it was you." Seeing that James wasn't upset emboldened me. "It's flattering to get attention from a younger man," I continued, "but it doesn't compare to what we have. All that energy, it's for you." That conversation marked a turning point for us. We began talking about our desires more openly, and our intimacy deepened. I started experimenting with lingerie I knew James loved, particularly stockings and heels. When we went out, I found myself flirting with him, rediscovering a playful side of my sexuality. Our conversations began to include fantasies involving hypothetical partners, often celebrities or athletes. Through it all, I made sure James knew how much I adored him. We even began watching adult films together, including some with themes of infidelity, which added an exciting layer to our relationship. At work, Joseph continued to flirt, and though I enjoyed the attention, I never allowed it to go beyond that. Joseph's invitations to spend time together grew more frequent, and while I always declined, part of me wondered what it might be like to say yes. Eventually, I realized it was time to share these feelings with James. One evening I said, "I love you more than anything in this world. You're everything I could ever want in a husband." James smiled warmly. "I love you too," he said, "but I can tell there's something on your mind." I hesitated, but knew I couldn't hold back. "Do you remember when we talked about trying new things in our intimate life? I've been thinking about it a lot, and I feel like I want to explore this curiosity before it's too late. I wonder what it might be like with someone else." James looked perplexed, and I understood the weight of what I was suggesting. "Joseph invited me to spend the weekend with him," I confessed. "I think it could help us understand what we've been discussing. Remember the video about the open wife we watched? Maybe we could explore that idea together." James's response was measured but tinged with resignation. "That was just a fantasy, Abigail." "But what if it could be more?" I asked. "Joseph knows about you, and I don't see him as a threat to our marriage. I enjoy his attention, but my heart belongs to you. I'll tell you everything, and I promise it won't change how I feel about you." "Have you already done something with him?" James asked, his voice heavy with emotion. "No," I assured him. "We've kept everything professional, but I'd like to explore this and still come home to you." Making this decision wasn't easy. It wasn't about replacing James or diminishing our love. It was about taking a leap of faith and exploring something new together, even if it came with risks. The weight in James's gaze carried a pain that words could never convey. Though he remained silent, his face betrayed the storm within. What I'd said clearly struck a chord, though his response wasn't anger but a quiet disbelief. For me, the matter was significant, yet his reaction suggested a deeper hurt, a fracture that went beyond my own perspective. Despite the countless reassurances I'd read about how common such situations were, the thought of something unique, uncharted, lingered uneasily in my mind. James leaned against the wall, his balance seeming unsure. It wasn't my intention to cause him pain, and his lack of overt confrontation offered a small reprieve. That night, neither of us found rest. My mind raced, replaying the conversation, questioning if I'd made a mistake. By morning, James appeared calmer, his composed demeanor offering a fragile sense of hope. Perhaps he was beginning to see some merit in my suggestion, even if accepting it wasn't easy. Deep down, I knew that unconventional desires were far more common than anyone admitted aloud. A part of me dared to believe this could reignite something between us. Still, I didn't want to dwell on it any longer. Determined to move forward, I slipped into the garter belt, the delicate bra, and the barely there thong. The ensemble made me feel a blend of courage and elegance, though the act of wearing it for someone else seemed surreal. Yet, it undeniably stirred a thrill within me. Joseph's striking features and confident air only amplified the magnetic pull I felt toward him. Guilt briefly tried to surface, but the excitement quickly swept it aside. As I packed my bag with dresses, shoes, and intimate pieces, I turned to James. "I'll be back Sunday," I said, keeping my tone steady. "Be ready to meet me then. I'll stay in touch." James's expression revealed his unease, though he kept his thoughts mostly to himself. I assured myself I'd check in with him regularly. When Joseph first laid eyes on me in this attire, his reaction was immediate and intense. I'd made sure he noticed every detail, from the stockings to the garter, and his captivated gaze filled me with a heady sense of power. The tension between us felt palpable, and I couldn't suppress the anticipation building inside me. "How did James take it?" Joseph asked, his tone casual but curious. "Not as well as I'd hoped," I admitted, "but not as badly as I feared." His lack of resistance had surprised me. "And he's aware of what we're doing?" Joseph pressed further. "Yes," I replied, recalling how carefully I'd chosen my words with James. I had framed it as a shared journey, something we could both explore together. To my amazement, he hadn't argued against it, but I couldn't shake the feeling that his acceptance was more of a concession than true agreement. The idea of sending James a photo as a way to gauge his feelings crossed my mind. With a steadying breath, I called him. "Hey, love, I got here safely. The hotel is stunning. How are you holding up?" The pause on the other end stretched uncomfortably before his reply came through as a text. "Have a great time. I had dinner with Robert and Mary." A flicker of unease settled in. What had he told the kids? Surely he wouldn't have shared too much. That wasn't like him. Still, I hoped he was keeping his feelings in check and perhaps even thinking of me. Joseph's effortless charm pulled me back to the moment. "Let's send him a photo," he suggested later during dinner. I hesitated, but eventually agreed. I chose a picture from the restaurant and captioned it, "We're having a wonderful time." My initial message had been more sentimental, but I toned it down to something neutral. James's reply, when it came, struck a nerve. "Looks like you're enjoying yourself, all dressed up, though I noticed the ring is missing." His words brought a rush of memories from our anniversary, a night that felt irreplaceable. I didn't want him to feel excluded or replaced. "Don't worry," I typed back. "By Sunday it'll be on my finger again. I love you." The guilt gnawed at me, but I convinced myself that my time with Joseph didn't diminish my love for James. After dinner, Joseph and I lingered over cocktails, the atmosphere charged with unspoken tension. Declining another round, we made our way to the room. On the way, I messaged James again. "Heading up. Hope this excites you. I'll be the wife you love again very soon. How are you feeling?" Before I could put my phone away, Joseph's kiss broke through my thoughts, igniting a passion that sent a shiver down my spine. "You won't regret this, Abigail," he murmured. "Maybe we could make this a regular thing, if James is open to it." His suggestion thrilled and unsettled me in equal measure. In the bathroom, I slipped out of my dress and caught my reflection in the mirror. The lingerie fit perfectly, but the silence from James loomed over me like a shadow. Finally, I sent another message. "James, are you there? You've been so quiet. I love you." His response came at last, a single word. "Yes." Relief mingled with doubt. His brief reply mirrored his unease, leaving me to question whether this experience was bringing us closer or driving us further apart. Hoping to lighten the mood, I sent him a playful selfie, but his lack of response weighed heavily on me. Sensing my distraction, Joseph chuckled and made an offhand comment about puzzles. "Puzzles?" I asked, puzzled myself. "Check his messages," Joseph suggested with a knowing smirk. Curiosity got the better of me. I reread James's replies, trying to piece together the meaning behind his words and silence, searching for the message he wasn't openly sharing. The realization hit me with the force of a thunderclap, sharp, inescapable, and brutally clear. Divorce. The word reverberated in my mind, a bitter refrain that filled me with suffocating dread. A weight settled in my chest, regret surging through me like a tidal wave. In a frenzy, I dialed again, only to be met with oppressive silence. Panic clawed at my thoughts as I scrambled to dress, my fingers shaking as I fumbled with my shoes. Joseph watched me, his face a mixture of concern and confusion. "I need to get home," I stammered, the urgency driving every move. He stepped forward, his voice steady but worried. "What's going on? Talk to me." Instead of answering, I shoved my phone at him, displaying the messages. His expression darkened as he scanned the screen. "This is bad," he muttered. "You don't think he'll do something reckless, do you?" Then, after a pause, he added nervously, "I can't let my wife find out about this." A jolt of disbelief hit me. "Wait, you're married?" The words escaped before I could stop them. He nodded, guilt etched across his face, but I was already moving, frantically typing another message. "I'm coming now." Joseph grabbed his keys and we rushed out together. As he drove, I kept calling, leaving message after desperate message. My thoughts spun in a storm of fear and regret. Then came the reply, curt and cold. "Abigail had her fun. Thanks for the warning. Gives me time to prepare." My stomach churned. "Please don't do anything rash," I begged, my hands trembling as I typed. Every second felt like a sharp reminder of my mistakes, each moment unraveling the past. Loving him now felt like a cruel irony, a memory stained beyond recognition. Another message arrived, cutting deeper. Legally, I have no other choice. I tried to plead, typing furiously. I'm not seeing him anymore. I choose you. His response was merciless. It doesn't matter. You wanted him, and I won't stop you. Your body, your choice. Did you even know he's married with 3 kids? The words pierced through me, leaving me reeling. As I struggled to process them, another message appeared. Take your time. I'm leaving. Lost my job just before retirement. I'm going traveling. And then the final blow. Oh, and I found another word. I scrolled through the messages, my chest tightening as I read them again. Chance, love, law, whore. Each word felt like a slap, the pain growing with every syllable. When we finally pulled into the driveway, the sight that greeted me made my legs give way. A for sale sign loomed in the yard like a grim sentinel. The house, our refuge, the space we had filled with memories, now belonged to the past. Inside, the kitchen table held the divorce papers, already signed. His belongings were gone, leaving an emptiness that was louder than any argument. The realization struck hard. He was truly gone, slipping further out of reach with every passing second. Desperate, I sent one last message, my heart laid bare. This can't be the end. I love you. I know you love me too. For 2 endless weeks I clung to hope, but his silence was an abyss that consumed me. Then one day, an envelope arrived. The handwriting was unmistakably his, a bitter comfort. Inside was his wedding ring. Tears streamed down my face, grief breaking through the fragile dam of composure I'd tried to maintain. The next day, my phone buzzed. His message was casual, detached. Hey, just wanted to let you know I arrived safely. The resort is amazing. Attached was a photo of an idyllic beach, turquoise waves lapping at golden sands. The image mocked me, its serenity a cruel contrast to my turmoil. My reply was instant. I'm sorry, James. Please come home. His response was devastating. He mentioned a woman named Camila, describing her as kind and welcoming. Another photo followed, a radiant woman lounging by the water, her vibrant bikini catching the sun. My chest tightened as I read his words, a mirrored echo of the night I had sent him away. His tone was laden with bitterness. Every day here is amazing. Oh, and I saw you return the ring. Respect for that. Hope you're doing well. And then, the final blow, no chance for reconciliation. I reread the message, the words cutting deeper with each pass. It was over. But James wasn't done. He forwarded my messages to Joseph's wife, to my family, even to our children. The fallout was catastrophic. Joseph called in a rage, blaming me for destroying his marriage. I threw his blame back at him, but it was futile. The damage was done. My family's anger was a storm I couldn't weather, their voices sharp with disbelief and pain. Worst of all was the disappointment in my children's eyes, a silent condemnation that pierced me more than words ever could. They made it clear. James was gone for good. Left amidst the ruins of my choices, I faced a life forever altered. All I could do was try to piece together what remained, knowing that the world I had known was lost beyond repair. This concludes the story. If you like it, then put your powerful like and subscribe to the channel.